All right, so our main topic today is discussing Honeyswap and the Honey token itself. So let's
Yeah,
take a look at
how did
this.
we get clued into this? Somebody on our Discord was talking about this. They're literally that. That's how I first heard about it.
Yeah, it
The
was
honey
Black
token.
Star. Black Star.
That's right, Black Star. If you're watching this, I think it was Black Star.
Yeah. Um.
Um,
Well. So Black Star had mentioned it. I think I had seen it before. Maybe it was mentioned by Chico Crypto in the past or something. But what's interesting about Honey is that they're using XDAI as their sidechain foundation to do sort of like a Uniswap on the sidechain. And so we took a look at it, and I think when we looked at it, it was like $700, and now it's like 2x. So it's at
in
fourteen
like
hundred
3 or 4
dollars.
days, right? Something like that.
Yeah. So the total token supply right now, and I'll show you, is on Blockstack. It's twenty four thousand
Yeah,
three
not
hundred.
much, dude.
Yeah, 24,379 tokens. So yeah, going back. So right now it's at 1,400 and change.
So we're looking at roughly what, like a 35 million ish market cap, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is growing day, dude.
Yeah. This
Look
is
at that
like
chart, man. It's like a slow creeper. It just does not want to go down.
yeah, it's a linear
You
slope.
know. At some point, this thing just like takes off like a motherfucking, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say rocket because that's overused, but that's what it looks like. It's priming for. But
It's already done a 10x.
more than that, dude. Okay, well, let's call it a 10x just
Yeah,
to
just
make
a
it
10x.
simple.
Yeah, make it easier. It's already
Yeah,
done a 10x. So if it does another 10x, we're looking at, I mean, a pretty significant run up.
but so what do you think is driving up this price? Just pure
Well,
speculation, right?
let's take a look at the some of the top pairs here. So Honey, wrapped XDAI. We have a million in liquidity, and the volume has 1.7 million. And the
Yeah.
last, damn. So wait a minute. Okay, so the last 7 days is 5 million, or almost 6 million.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, think about this, dude. Volume in 7 days, or actually, volume in 24 hours has been 1.7 million, but the fees in that same time frame has been $5,000.
Can you do that simple math
Yes, so we can do.
for those of you interested? And in case you don't know, like this is kind of like it on Uniswap. This is, I think, one of the main incentives to be a Uniswap liquidity provider, right? Is to collect these fees.
It's 0.2%. Actually, point three of a percent. So it's the same fee structure as Uniswap,
So, yeah. Okay.
but I think that's the only fee. I think here, and I think the slippage is lower just because I think the liquidity provided is 50-50 to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that the
So these fees. So this is interesting. These fees aren't extracted from gas fees at all. This is just an added fee
it's
per
an added fee.
transaction.
Yes,
So yeah, there is no difference between this and Uniswap then, as far as like fee collection. Doesn't
correct,
matter that this is a gasless protocol.
correct.
I mean, there is gas, but like the gas fees are negligible because it's a second layer, protocol.
Exactly. And I think that's
Uh,
that's what makes the difference between this one and Uniswap.
what's the difference?
The gas fee.
Well, yeah, from a user experience perspective, like if you're a fucking trader, which I mean, you're starting to turn into one, right? Like you're
Yeah.
spending a lot of time in front of charts,
Yeah,
you're trying to catch swings and stuff.
for sure.
You're starting to make me look up like a freaking noob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I retired from that life a long time ago. But the point is, you should be using a platform like this to execute your trades, right? Because you're losing a significant
That's right.
amount of money every
Yeah.
time you execute a trade on Uniswap, like to gas.
That's correct.
So
Yeah. The only issue with that is, are these tokens, first of all, they have to be ERC20s. So not all the tokens we're interested are ERC20s, right? They have their own blockchain.
that's
Uh,
true.
but having said that, do these tokens exist on the sidechain yet? And usually it's the answer is no. And the reason is because you have to develop a bridge token from, like, for example, they XDAI made a bridge between DAI and XDAI, right? XDAI is the side token representation of DAI. And so
XDAI.
if you wanted mana on the side chain, you would have to convert it to X mana.
Really?
Yeah.
So how come Uniswap's not X Uni? You know?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, I
Let's
see
take a look at
X
this.
Moon, so that supports that. I don't. Is it Moon that Reddit token?
That's the Reddit token, yes.
Okay, interesting.
Okay,
So this is a
so
Uniswap honey pair. 15 million liquidity, dude. Peanuts.
yeah.
I mean, if you make the comparables to Uniswap, like it's not even close. I think there's more than $2 billion staked in liquidity on Uniswap. In comparison to this, which is like they're barely cracking a million, dude. It's like insane. It's night and day.
Right.
But again, that doesn't take away from like the speculative value of this platform, right? It's just it solves one of the main issues that Uniswap currently fails to address,
Oh,
which
okay.
is fees.
Yeah,
What's going on?
so here's the thing. So Honey is an X dot, it's a side chain token, right? There is no Honey on the mainnet. And
That's
so
correct. That's why it's not on CoinGecko, right?
correct. Well,
Uh,
that's not the reason why it's not on CoinGecko. It's the reason why it's not on Uniswap.
That's right. You can't go to Uniswap to get honey. You got
Right.
to go through this
Correct.
Honeyswap protocol
Yeah.
to get
So
honeys.
that means there are tokens that exist on the sidechain that don't have an X component to it because it's only on the sidechain. So
Oh,
even then, if you wanted to move it to the main chain for whatever reason that is, then you would have to build that bridge anyways. And
interesting.
so in the case for mana, then you would have X mana, just like you have X die, because die is on the mainnet, and so is mana.
Mm-hmm.
And
What the fuck, dude?
yeah.
This is like some mind blowing shit.
So for
Because
example,
I mean, so Honey is 100% not Ethereum ERC20 asset, right? It's an XDAI asset.
well, it is an ERC20. All X die assets are
Okay.
ERC20s
Okay.
because you're using the same Ethereum address as your mainnet Ethereum address. It's just on a different network.
It's just on a different network.
Yeah. So, and let's try to provide an example here. So let's connect wallet, MetaMask. We're going to sign this transaction. We're going to connect. And now it says
Ah,
wrong network. Please connect to the appropriate Ethereum network. So
yeah, because you're
now,
on the. Okay.
so let's do this. So now let's go into what is it?
What the fuck? Whacked token?
Yeah, I got that whacked airdrop.
Really?
Yeah. But that was
Interesting.
from you remember who that was?
Mm-mm.
That was McAfee, dude. Remember he started the
Oh,
whack
really?
token? Yeah.
Shit. That must have skated by, dude. I didn't pay attention to that one.
Yeah. All right. So XDAI chain, here we go.
So you had, and for those of y'all watching, that's not like going to be there if you haven't done this, right? You had to do some manual process to do that,
That's
right?
correct. So, for example, you have to go into your networks list here, and you see Mainnet, Robston, Coven, Rinkeby, and you
Yeah.
see all of
These
them
should
here.
be like standard networks that
Yeah,
everybody's connected to, right?
correct. They're already in there.
Okay.
So, you have to create a new one called XDAI chain. So you have to click on custom RPC, get the network name, get the RPC URL, which is die.poa.network.
Yeah. Go ahead and show everybody just in case they want to do this.
Yeah. So this one would be XDAI chain, and then you don't need to type in the symbols here. And so as soon as you type in this network RPC URL, then you
Mm-hmm.
hit save, and then all of a sudden it's part of the list, and then you just select this to move into that network, and then now you're in that
Okay.
network.
Badass. So
So
you're in.
so now I'm in, and now
You're
I
officially
can
connected to Honeyswap.
yes. So
Okay.
now I can move. I think let's see if I have to get WETH or XDAI. So assume I had XDAI, right? Let's say $1,000 worth of XDAI. Actually, we can just type it in here. $1,000 worth of XDAI gives me 0.71 of Honey, and it says insufficient funds, and the price is $13.92. And then the most interesting part about this is that the price impact is 0.17%, which is nothing. And then 3x die is provided as liquidity fee. So that's 0.3%.
$3.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. Jeebus. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't make that connection. Like yesterday, I was struggling to find like the practical reason for people to want to stake and become liquidity providers on this platform as opposed to Uniswap because
Yeah.
I was under the assumption that the fee or the that 0.3% LP fee was being taken from the gas fees. I thought,
Oh,
but
I see.
I was incorrect in that assessment. It's
Yeah.
just like an added fee for the platform that they take on every trade. So
Yeah, which gets funneled into the liquidity.
yeah, I mean this is a fork of Uniswap. So whatever automated market maker Uniswap uses, Honeyswap uses the exact same one, right?
That's correct.
So it operates under the exact same like mechanical architecture, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Like,
Yeah, I wish I could show you the actual transaction taking place because it happens in under 7 seconds and almost the zero gas
yeah,
fees. It's like 0.0002 of an X die, which is like dust. It's like 0.2% of a penny.
hold on, you're cutting out a little bit, a
Okay.
little laggy.
Yeah. So, apologies. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, a little better.
Okay. So what I was saying is, I wish I could actually show the transaction because if I executed it, you would see this done in like 7 seconds,
Yeah,
versus Uniswap where it takes longer. It could take anywhere between 5 or 10 minutes, and then on top of that, you're paying between $3 to $15 in gas fees, and in Honeyswap's scenario because it's on XDAI, it's like
dude. At one point, I was paying like $100.
$100.
Yeah, like during the peak of that DeFi like ridiculousness, like right before that little bubble popped,
Yeah.
I was paying close to like $100 per trade, dude. It was insane.
Wow, dude.
Like, and that's the thing that people need to kind of like recognize as far as like, I mean, we can get into XDAI, like this shit doesn't scale, man. Like as cool as DeFi is, as cool as NFTs are going to be, as cool as everything that's being built on Ethereum is, this is not some sustainable shit like at all. And like according to everything we've looked at, ETH 2.0 is not on the horizon anytime soon. I don't think.
Yeah.
At least not in the like expected version people are hoping for. Like people are hoping ETH 2.0 rollout equals, all of our problems solved.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, even Vitalik himself said it. Like that's not going to be the case. And I think he also like to add on to that, he's like, I don't understand why more projects aren't integrating into layer two.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's
he
right.
say that?
Yeah, he said that.
So he's like, what the fuck, guys? Why are you guys putting so much pressure on me, dude? Like, there's plenty of protocols out there.
Yeah, that
The
work.
yeah, it's up to the projects and the devs to actually implement them.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And we're starting to see that with this is a perfect example, because this is a big need, dude. Because I'm used to freaking high activity trading, man. In 2017 on Binance, that's all I did all day long, dude. I accrued more than 4,000 trades in like a 6 month time span. It was insane.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much money I blow doing that today, like on Uniswap? Can't do it. But
Well,
shit, what was I talking about, dude?
I mean, we're talking about Uniswap being the sort of
Yeah,
setting the standard for automated market makers, and then being the first to liquidity pools, and
yeah. Ultimately, I'm just trying to get like us to give like a final say on like whether or not Honeyswap has like a,
I
a firm space in this space, like a firm.
well, I think they do. I think Honeyswap using XDAI is really smart, just because these gas fees really kill businesses,
Yeah, big
and
time.
they're completely avoiding it by using XDAI.
Hmm.
The only thing is, what prevents Uniswap from adopting XDAI or any other sidechain? And then
Yeah,
at that point, why use Honeyswap?
that's right. That's why I used all the yield farming craze as an example, because that's exactly what Uniswap did. Like they created this brilliant technology, but they missed out on one little thing.
The token.
It's the token reward mechanism. Then like these yield farming vampire protocols, they kind of like filled that gap. They recognized Uniswap doesn't have a token for some reason to reward their LPs. So we'll just go ahead and fork their code, build this token, and we'll do it for them.
That's right.
Uniswap ultimately crushed these fucks, and they came out with their own token.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think it's obviously it's in their best interest just to crush any kind of competitive force that's going to come out there and like try and siphon any kind of network effect away from them, right?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we're looking at with the honey swaps, the falcon swaps. Once again, these guys are forking their code, but they figured out another gap to fulfill, like
Mm-hmm.
scaling and fees and shit. So they're trying to do it again. So yeah, how long until Uniswap crushes these guys is the question.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Or
And
Uniswap. Did I say honey swap or Uniswap?
Honeyswap.
Whatever.
Or Uniswap
Uniswap.
crushing Honeyswap.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, Vitalik was talking about Ethereum 2.0, I think recently, and that it's going to be launching like within the next couple of weeks or something.
Really?
And yeah,
I didn't see that.
so the other thing is that ZK rollups and optimistic rollups is another technical aspect that we need to look into. Just because
Okay.
I haven't looked into it, but I mean, so many people keep talking about it. And one of the things that even Vitalik said that if XDAI were to use ZK rollups or optimistic rollups, then he would, 100% endorse XDAI in terms of like building a platform on top of it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Then we need to figure out what that is and why
Well,
wouldn't they do that then?
real quickly, let's just ZK made me zero knowledge rollups. So ZK rollups are one of the options being developed for layer 2 construction that increases scalability through mass transfer processing rolled into a single transaction.
Ah, okay.
Where Plasma creates one transaction per transfer, ZK rollups bundle hundreds of transfers into a single transaction.
Interesting.
And then here's a Medium article, Optimistic versus ZK rollups deep dive. So optimistic rollup is a promising technology for scaling general purpose smart contracts on Ethereum in the near term. If built relatively quickly, it can offer an easy way to migrate existing dApps and services with a reasonable degree of security scalability trade-offs. This will be ETH 1.0 to keep up with growing demand. And ZK rollups is more sophisticated technology. It can be used for token transfers and specialized applications today. However, it will take a little longer to implement general purpose smart contracts, and even more research work is required to effectively wrap the Ethereum virtual machine in zero knowledge proofs. However, once ZK rollups is fully developed, all existing Ethereum dApps and services will be able to smoothly migrate to it without much effort.
Wow. Fascinating.
So ZK rollups will fix several fundamental issues with optimistic rollup. Eliminate a nasty tail risk, theft of funds from or via intricate yet viable attack vectors.
Mm-hmm.
Reduce withdrawal times from 1 to 2 weeks to a few minutes. This is withdrawal. Oh, so optimistic rollups had withdrawal times from 1 to 2 weeks. That's insane, dude. And then ZK rollup enables fast transaction confirmations and exits in practically unlimited volumes. And then finally, introduce privacy by default.
Okay.
So having that kind of like little bit of knowledge that helps us understand, what Ethereum 2.0 is going to look like.
Yeah. Okay. I need to see. I mean, again, this is the wait and see approach. You know, especially for us non-technical minded folk. You know,
Yeah.
but there's a lot is riding on these scaling solutions, dude.
Yeah, it's not, cryptocurrency, smart contracts, all that's not going to be taken seriously by the masses until these fees are
Mm-hmm.
fixed.
100%.
Because otherwise, it's just cheaper to use centralized services, and that's the exact opposite result that we want.
So let's go back to Honeyswap as far as like from a tokenomics perspective. Let's do a comparable analysis. We're comparing Honeyswap currently, which we've roughly estimated. Okay, it tells you right here, 33 million market cap. So we know what this thing is what space this thing is competing against. It's competing against Uniswap, which is sitting roughly around 600 million. You know,
Mm-hmm. So
so that's
that's
that's your range of
20x.
like market potential, I guess. If you're looking at this from a speculative advantage, you know, if you're trying to catch some kind of next, you know, platform to blow up, good luck, I'd say.
Yeah.
Obviously very risky, but I say that with the knowledge of knowing like I've seen way less useful, way less important things have way bigger run ups than this potentially could
Yeah.
have. You know what I
Agreed.
mean?
Agreed.
Like I said, this actually has a legitimate short term use case because all this fancy shit you were just reading is not applied yet. And we don't know. I don't care what Vitalik said, dude. He's been
Yeah.
saying this shit's gonna happen for years.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what any of these Ethereum fucking devs say. Like until it's hardwired into everything, you know, it's easy to use, then it doesn't matter
Yeah.
ultimately. So if
Yeah.
that's the case, then this honey, whatever protocols are vampiring the network effect from Uniswap and implementing already proven technology of XDAI, you know, do with that information what you think you should do.
Oh,
You
I
know, that's
totally
all I gotta
agree.
say.
I mean, it's the
Yeah.
difference between vaporware and a product that's like actually built and you can use and touch and interact with.
Yeah.
And Honeyswap
Exactly.
is there, right? Honeyswap, you can trade almost, some of the tokens that they've already supported. So the fact that it already exists is worth its weight in gold compared to, the future applications of Uniswap adopting XDAI or ZK rollups or anything that's going to allow it to scale.
100%. So, oh man, I was gonna segue into something completely slipped.
Was it XDAI?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say just even if you're not like a speculator, if anything, it's not a bad idea to just to kind of like figure out how to go through this process to acquire some of these honey tokens just for the exercise of like figuring out how to use layer two. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's valuable in itself. Like because there's going to be a lot of platforms that adopt this type of system. And the problem with that is there's going to be like some onboarding friction because like there's a couple more steps that you know the general user is going to have to go through.
Yeah, for sure.
But so it's not a bad idea to kind of familiarize yourself with it. So why not?
Yeah, I have a feeling that this switching networks is going to be commonplace. You just have to like be completely organized because the tokens that you own, they don't show up when you're on mainnet. And so if you have a bunch of tokens on the side chain, they're only there when you're on the correct network.
Yeah, that's right.